everyone. How's it going? Coming in on Sunday, end of the week. Hope you guys had a good week, good weekend. It's very hot. It's good stuff though. So we are here. We are going to we're going to finish this page. I think, we're going to figure. I thought I was going to do it, not with everyone here. Like I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be able to do this by myself. But that just didn't happen. I still don't think I like this non-gray, this non-black back here. That might have to change. Actually, it's probably gonna change. Probably, most likely. Alright, so we need... Bam, just color it in. It's gonna be like, technically I should probably just magic wand it and get on about my business, but I've come to realize that by doing that I tend to at least always have random stuff. Like, it just doesn't work. There you are. Oops. Yeah. Pop this in. We are going to finish this ninjas. Oops. And I think I'm going to be doing. Most of you aren't here, so I get to say it twice, but I think I'm going to be doing some ninja NFTs, because it really just, I don't know. I'll watch a couple more videos on it, but we're going to be doing NFTs. I see it. It's in my future. I don't like that. It's gotta be, I'm gonna have to change that. I don't necessarily like the color there, so. Oops. So, damn, that color. I think by having the actual black, I've had many people, they've been doing, especially in my classes, a lot of students color their lines, and I was like, maybe it'll help with what I'm trying to do by getting it to blend with the paper and all that kind of good stuff, but maybe not, because there's just something that I don't.
Inappropriate things.
Why do you do that to him? Why?
He does it to me.
No, he doesn't.
Yes,
he doesn't come down here and do that to you.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not.
He does.
But he doesn't.
But he does.
With who?
You! Everybody! You don't seem to care at all.
Yeah, I don't know why you think that the world's out to get you, because we're not.
I'm just saying you don't care when Sean does these kinds of things to me.
I would very much so. kids, am I right? That's not what I want. My wife. No, go away. Just want to. There we go. What? No. I just want to type. Just want to type. It's like, it's what I want. Sorry, I'm having issues. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we got what I want. Alright. Bleep. Oh. Kids only got a niece and a cat. Well, you understand. The cat, man. The cat. It's like, you understand. The cat. The cat. Hey, Skip. How's it going? How are things going? Haven't, I miss you now that you've once again become a hard-working professor. We miss you. We miss you a lot. What's up, Mandala? How's it going? Yeah, okay. I don't think this soundtrack is working for me, as we are always on a quest to try and find more and more music that we can use. I don't think this is it. So we're about to change that. New tune quarter. Wow, that sucks, man. Master for what? That's right in the summer. Oh, good. Well, that's good, right? At least you'll have it all. You'll have it all figured out. Yeah, I don't even understand here. Let's see what this is. Oh wait, maybe this one. Oh, the fly's coming back? Let's check it out. Ooh. Oh man, these are so good. That was awesome. Do you mind if I show it? Can I show it? That's awesome. It's so good. So good. Like, look at this. Oh, it's okay. Her? Huh. This is just awesome. Fantastic stuff, man. As always, fantastic. Let's go. Wants everyone to know. Anyone who doesn't want to. Making a video version for. Okay. Yeah, I'm still trying to find my still trying to figure out how I want to use TikTok. Like I post stuff on there and I get some attention and it's pretty cool, right? But I'm like, all right, well, what do I want to do? You know, like exactly what am I trying to do here? So still trying to figure it out. And I'm doing that by looking at a whole lot of other content creators who are artists and seeing how they're, you know, seeing what they're doing. And I've noticed that you pretty much post any type of progress, and it seems like it'll do good too. And plus, I want to be able to promote the Ninja Empire, right? So with that, we're gonna start doing like character reveals and stuff like that. So should be fun. And since I got behind in Ninjago, I mean not in Ninjago, but in GI January, I haven't, like I did do some, actually did some videos, right? And I posted those up, which was fun. But since I fell behind, I was like, well, I'm not about to, you know, cause more stress on myself than I have to. That stopped, but it's okay, all right? Because we're gonna make sure that we get there. So yeah, it's pretty much what I was thinking. Like I started bringing over some of the like the shorts that I did. I was just like, all right, let's try this, right? Like see if I can use some of the things that I've already done. Like old videos, like traditional Tuesdays, it's not even shorts. Like I just sped them up to make them shorts, you know. And so it's like, yeah, we can do that. We'll speed it up so that we can just make, you know, we'll just make shorts. It's all good. So I'm just, the thing is that, well, I need more time to do editing. It was like more time to do, well, editing. Because let's be honest, all of this, I mean, when you think about it, it's like you got to quit your job just so you could do this stuff, and you're just like, I can't quit my job. Yeah, I've been tempted to post my sequence. You should, absolutely should. Yeah, I'm telling you, like I've seen so many people like, and they don't even post like finished stuff. Like they just went, I got this far, right? And they do it. And one thing that I've noticed is that the majority of everything is 1 minute, right? It's 1 minute. Nobody's doing like the whole 3 minutes and stuff like that. Some people who are doing like full pages digitally, you know, and they do it in one shot, they're doing they're using the full 3 minutes and stuff, but for the most part it's like a minute and 10 seconds, something like that. So, you know, that's, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be doing that because I got a whole bunch of footage still from just when I was doing characters from here that I haven't posted, because I was like, well, there's no real spot for me to do art. But it does seem like people are willing to show up, at least on TikTok, right? Like they'll at least watch it, and which is more than I can say for a lot of other places, you know. So at least that way, you know that it's getting in front of people, which I think is great. Because with that, I have gained followers, you know, just because it's like, hey, you might actually enjoy this. And they're like, you know what? I actually do. So, you know. There it is. Look at that panel. Feeling it. I almost got a page done. What? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I almost have a page done. And I know it's a lot of copy and paste. I know that, but you know what? I think the best part about actually going, this is how I'm going to do this at this particular moment, is the fact that I have something done. There's no more excuse. What's up? Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want.
Thanks.
Yup.
What you doing?
I'm drawing this page. What are you doing?
I'm slowly doing that. Oh.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you only work on it on stream. Because I fell behind on my own challenge, which I needed to catch up on. So
You should let me draw the next panel.
you can draw the next panel.
What happens?
The next panel is a splash page where he overlooks the village that he's gonna go into to kill somebody.
Okay. Where's the paper? I remember now.
What?
I remember the paper. I have to draw it right now.
Oh, did I already get exploded? Man, y'all just hate me. I don't exactly know what I did to. And how'd you win? You just randomly show up and then you win. What? Oh my goodness.
It's because I'm drawing this panel for free.
It's because it's for free.
Can I have a pen?
This is super rigged. Do you want to? This one's better.
Is he on a mountain cliff thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he is. Mountain cliff thing. Do it. Why do you put this mission through a whole page as opposed to maybe doing it in batches of pencils, inks, and so on? Okay, so no, this was honestly a one-time. This is like a one-time deal because for me, the thing that I really needed to hammer down is how do I want the pages to look, right? Like, what's the feel? Because I need paper, like what I want this paper to look as though it, it's on top, or it's supposed to resemble old paper, right? And like the drawings and the comics and stuff is on this paper, and it's like, this is the history, this was a hand-me-down, this is what was going on. And so instead of having just like white paper, we've got the textured paper, but it still looks as though there's an image on top of it, right? So I'm still playing around. Nice. I'll hold on to that forever. Thank you. But honestly, I draw everything out first. Like, normally I will draw every single page that I'm doing out first. And then I will ink every single page. And then I will color every single page. Now, if I'm doing batches, if like, for instance, I know that because I want to make sure I have something for MegaCon, like that is my big thing, is that I have to have some type of a story, some type of comic for MegaCon. And to ensure that I have something, I want to make sure that I have at least like a teaser, right? And so I figured I can actually do a source book, and the beginning of the source book be the 5 pages, right? Like, I have the end of this graphic novel, the 5 pages at the end is a nice lead up so that you can understand who the Black Dragon is, right? Like, we cut back to him towards the end of the story, or the end of this first installment of the Ninja Empire. So I was like, this would be a good one because it teases like, hey, this is what's gonna happen, and then you guys will know, but most people that will see it in MegaCon won't know that that's the end of the story. So then by the end of the year, you get everything, and it's like, oh wait, this was the end of the story. But for this, it's definitely more of a, I needed to get this done to not procrastinate any further. Does that make sense? it's more of a concept page or a test. Yeah, it's because I want to see what it's gonna be like. I'm sorry. So yeah, it's a test page because it's like, what's it gonna look like? Because I know how my colors work, right? Like I know what I'm doing for the colors. I'm not doing anything fancy there, but it's definitely like these, these borders, they actually have a brown color over the top of it, right? It's a brown color overlay. The black also has that brown overlay because I was trying to make it look like it was in the paper, but I don't like it, right? Like I don't like the way this right here looks, right? Because it looks washed out, and because there's a color there, it looks wrong. Like if that red wasn't there, everything else seems to like really blend in together, right? Everything else seems to blend together, but that black and that red is not working, right? And so I'm like, well, maybe I do actually need to make it solid black, right? So we're experimenting to see how it's gonna look, and then for the next bunch of streams, I'm gonna be on my drawing desk, and everyone's gonna see me drawing the pages, like they saw me draw this one. So that's what the future looks like. Although there's a project that is coming my way, I don't know if it's starting in February or not, and I'll be doing some of that on stream because it's time sensitive. So, we're gonna be doing that. Need darker. Yeah. Right, because it pops out, right? So, but I'm trying to keep consistent with the colors of the character design too, right? Like I'm not, and I've changed some of the colors so that it's so that it fits with what we're doing, but it's, I'm like, I still need to try and stay consistent, so I'm not just going, excuse me, so I'm not just going, well, I'm changing all the colors because I don't think I need to. Excuse me. So start small on building strips, figure out other things I might want to do. Yeah. Oh, that's how you build? Oh, okay. Not talking to Enrique, not all of us have the ability to just wow everyone with their character designs and monster designs without telling anyone anything about it. Sometimes, and it's a very fleeting thought, I'm not even gonna lie, but sometimes I'm like, maybe, just maybe, I should really try and hone my skills in the painting, the digital painting. And then I remember going back and teaching it and going, ugh, this takes forever. I don't like it. So I'm just gonna have to leave it to the experts, especially the ones who said they were gonna do a drawing of my character, make him look all badass, and haven't. Just saying. It takes forever. I remember when I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and we were talking, and I was like, this is taking too long. And then, because I was like, look at how far I got in this, and I was like, it took me this many hours to do it. And you're like, yeah, that's about what it takes me. you know, and you've been working super professional by that time and whatnot, and you're just like, yeah, that's how long it takes me, and then I got to spend another 8 to 10 hours noodling out the details, and I'm like, oh yeah, no. Good night, bud. It's like, nah, I can't spend that long. I can't. I'm sorry. And it is definitely a personal shortcoming to be like, I don't want to spend that much time. To be honest, I think it's what's stopping me from animating as well, because I went back, because, you know, Skip up here straight up reminded me about the fact that I was doing that animation. You know, and he was like, yeah, you should finish that. And I'm like, and then I dug it out and I looked at it. I'm like, man, it'd be really cool to have that done. And he almost got me to animating again. And I'm like, oh man, but it takes so long. Especially since I'm a noob at it, you know? As far as doing that, like, I hadn't done idle animations, well, ever. So, you know, it's just like doing something new is just like, this is gonna take forever. And it did. And I didn't like it. Yeah. Is it bad? Is it worse than Toon Boom? Okay. It's a friggin' Toon Boom. Sure takes okay. Right. Right. You am I right? They're like, oh, that's my stuff. No, that's wrong. That person doesn't bend that way. And no, you can't use, oh, well, I'm using squash and stretch or exaggeration. Like, yes, but you have to actually understand what you're exaggerating. You can't just be like, I'm doing that on purpose. Like, it doesn't look right. Like, well, it's my style. It's like, shut up. Oh man, I love the idea of panel to panel animation. Love it. But, you know, and here's the thing, like, I've realized, I think I know why I kind of stepped away from it, because we had this conversation before, because I was like, look, I've come to a point in my life where there's certain things, it's like, okay, there's certain things that I want to learn how to do. Like, this is something that I really, really want to learn how to do. And so I'll do it. Like, I want to learn how to do watercolor. Right? So I'm gonna be teaching myself how to use watercolor. That is the wrong way. You know, so I will be doing that. Like, I will be teaching myself watercolor. And so with that said, I want that, right? It feeds into my illustration stuff and all that kind of good stuff. But animation is one of those ones where I'm like, yeah, it'd be really cool to do, but let's be honest, I'm not going to be an animator. You know, like, that's not what I'm going to do. I will be an illustrator. Having another means of being able to illustrate makes sense, right? I've been illustrating for quite some time. So that's all good, right? Learn how to watercolor, learn how to, you know, use a brush to ink. Yes, I can do it, I just don't want to. But, you know, adding to that repertoire makes sense. But I'm like, if I gotta spend that much time doing animation, learning animation, doing all the tricks, doing all these things, right? And then it's like, yeah, but you're still no Skipper Wayne, right? Because it's like, I haven't put in the amount of hours that he has. So, like, there's nothing that at this point I can do about that, right? And not to mention, he's an animator. So I'm like, you know what? It has gotten to the point in my career, finally, where I'm going, you know what? I don't have to be the person who does everything. You know what I mean? I don't have to. I didn't have to before, but I thought I had to. But I don't have to. And so now it's just easier to go, all right, you know, if there's someone out there who, you know, who's like, oh no, I owe you a solid, you're like, all right, cool, here, do this for me. If not, then it's like, hey, you do this, right? Yeah. Okay. How much? How much is it going to be for you to do this for me? Because I can't learn to do it right now. And because of that, I will pay you to do it. Plain and simple. Right? And so when, you know, it's like when it comes time to, you know, if I'm like, all right, I'm getting really close to, you know, as Mandala pointed out before, you know, it's like I have this following, people are really interested. All right, now's the time to get a trailer done, right? Let's get a trailer done. Or if I'm really feeling frisky about it, you know, it's like, hey, let's create, you know, 5-minute trailer or something. You're not, you know, like a trailer or something like that. And then it's like, you tell me how much, and I'll, you know, we'll go from there. See the active create. Okay. Can be great. Now, creating storyboards is one of the few jobs I really like in production. See, I was not a storyboard person. Like, did it? It was, you know, it is what it was. It was what it is. But I didn't really care for storyboards. And while you're like, but you do comics, I'm like, yeah, but it is still a different beast, you know. And so I don't know, storyboards just never really did it for me. I love good storyboards though, right? Like you see someone who's like, I do storyboards, and you're like, holy crap, that's really good. That's really, really good, right? I love good storyboards. Like I have the entire storyboard, all of the storyboards for Vampire Hunter D in a book, and it's beautiful, and it'll never leave my possession. You know, like I've given books to the library, I've done all kinds of things, right? But that's something that will not, it's not, I love that book. It's amazing. I want to learn watercolors. We should figure it out together. You are on. You are absolutely on, because I could definitely use someone to hold me accountable, because I want to. I really do. I really want to learn watercolor. And I'm willing to put in the time and effort because it's something I want to do. So if you want to do it with me, or you know something somewhere on how to, you let me know. I'm there. You know, stop for 10 years. No, I don't want. I'll save my $1 billion. And then I'll let you continue for the next 10 years, and I will pay you to do the animations I need. How about that? Everyone either wants to do storyboards or concept design. Yeah, everyone. But see, everyone wants to do concept design. Everyone. There's no way around it. Everyone. Because it's, you know, it's the rock star job. Now, we can talk to, you know, concept designer extraordinaire. And be like, is it all that in a bag of chips? And he might tell you the truth about concept design. But everyone loves it. You know, they're like, this is the thing, because you're the one creating the world, right? And that's, let's be honest, that's the fun part. It doesn't matter what project I was working on at all. If it was at the beginning and they're like, hey, we want you to create the world and stuff like that, that was the best, right? Because that's where all the fun was. So everyone wants to be a concept designer. Hey, bud.
Hi. What are you drawing?
The first page for Ninja Empire. You feeling any better?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to get a hot chocolate before I went to bed and turn your stream on because I was gonna put it on my TV, but I can't get it to work.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, we were talking about how it's a problem that there's a gazillion 3D positions open, but no one wants them, while everyone else is trying to cram themselves into the professional doodler position that they think is. Yep. Artists don't seem to get held accountable for shit. They do not.
They don't get held accountable for what?
Crappy designs.
Oh.
They don't, you know? And then, what's also crazy to me is how, like, I got this book, I got the art of Overwatch because I love the style, right? The concept artist who's on that is really good. And then, you know, you see concepts that they didn't use, you know, and you're just like, why didn't you use this? And I mean, I get it, because the one that really gets me is, was it May or Mai? Who's the snow one? Butch.
In Overwatch?
Yeah.
May.
So, you know, you see May, and we all, you know and love her for being the bubbly, happy, you know, go lucky ice character, right? Well, I saw the first design that they did for her, and whew, man, it was amazing. I was like, this design is, oh my goodness, right? But, you know, it didn't fit. Apparently they're like, we're going to use this first, and it was the design they were going to use, and then they decided, you know what, we don't want her to look like this, and we're going to change up her story so that it won't, you know, we can get something more lighthearted, or have her a little bit more lighthearted. But it was like Evil Snow Queen, and oh my goodness, have you guys seen that? Have you seen the design? I can show you. I have the book right behind me. Time to jump into it. Times I've tried. We're just shameful. Do you share? Okay. Give me a sec. This is one of my favorite, you know, art books. There's some where I'm like, meh, you know, I have them, it's like, meh, meh. But this one, I really do like. All right, full face. I don't know, can you guys see that?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And I know, right? You go, but that's not May. Right? You're like, that's not May. And I get it, right? I do. I absolutely get it. That's not what we've come to love and enjoy. The design for May is awesome, right? It is. I not gonna fight that at all. But I look at that design and I'm like, oh, right? That exactly. It would have been cool, but I get it. I really do. I'm like, I completely understand why that's not happening, right? It's sad, but, you know, it makes sense with the story that she has. So, but, you know, but anyway, you know, concept designs. Let's do it. All right, Enrique, I'm there. I'm so there. If there's some videos that you have that you think would work, I think I might have some classes that I can let you, yeah, just use my code if you need to. So I still need to, like, I have bought classes where I'm like, all right, let's do this, and it was like, nope. I'm like, dang. That's looking good. I know, you know, and that's the thing. Like, I get it. I do. I 100% understand why they did it. But the other one looks so cool. You know what I mean? You're just like, this looks awesome. And I read the description. Like, they're like, she came across too evil, right? Like, it came across like bad guy. And I'm like, okay.
Stop lying.
I'm not lying. You think so? Oh. So, what are you doing?
I'm playing Friday Night Funkin'.
Don't do that. Nothing but clickety clack clacks and stuff.
Sorry, you're not a gamer like me.
You're driving me bananas. What?
It sounds like someone's a little bit bad.
That might be true. We can still agree that in the end, Maya's still the most demonic of the characters. Yeah?
I hate May.
You hate May? Why?
Because she's so annoying.
Why?
Because
Do tell.
So if she's on your team, she'll just put a wall in front of you right as it drops. Like,
is that bad?
yes. So you're like in this bunker before the game starts, and then the door will drop. So she'll just put a wall up, and you can't get past it.
You can't.
Yeah.
But aren't you on the same team?
Yes.
Oh, that seems weird.
Yeah, it's really horrible. Also, she can just become invincible and regen while doing it.
Oh, that sounds bad too. Oh, okay.
She freezes you, which is just really annoying.
She freezes you. I hate it.
Really, she's not even all that good. Just annoying.
I think it's also kind of clever on the designer's part to make such an annoying character so bubbly. Well, yeah. But I mean, it's also good, direction, right? Good art direction. So, because they probably like, oh, you know what we could do? We could be super annoying if we do this. And people will hate it. And it'll be great. Oh. That's odd. It's not gonna work the way I want it to. It's alright. Wait, which one's this? Okay. Well, never say level design. Yeah. Concept design, really. Good job. I would love to have. Right. But seems to be a lot of pumping out variations of tire design. It is. It is though. You know, that's the I've watched a lot of designers, and you know, they're like, look, it's not about making these super kind of designs. It's about trying to get as many designs out as possible, you know. And while yes, you want to have cool designs, but I've seen them just change a shoulder pad, right? And they're like, all right, shoulder pad, good, done, right? And you're like, well, okay, then what? And like, nope, that, you know, that design is done. You're like, all right. And so, you know, it really just, you're just kind of going, well, is this all that we need, right? And it's cool. I think that it's a lot of fun to be able to do that. Why is that? But this to pull that out. But it's not for everyone, you know. That's I think the one thing that I've realized is that concept design is not for everyone, right? Not everyone can just pump out, like you said, variation of variation of variation of variation, right? Especially when you're like, oh, but this design really fits the story, right? Because it's one thing when you're doing it, like when I do my designs and my stuff, it's like, oh, but I'm doing it, right? Like you have nothing to say. If I go, hey, this is it, then that's it, right? And you can be like, this design right here is everything that I wanted from this character. But if you're a concept designer, you might think that it's the best one, and they're like, we're not going with that. What are you gonna do? Nothing. You know? So lore and canon and storytelling, depending on the resource, it's not as general audience wants to believe it is. Yeah, like when they changed the Oracle's appearance in the Matrix, worked it into the story as the character having sacrificed their appearance. Right. So much of it is just trying to get consensus. Right. Everyone has to like it. And see, and that I think is really the hard part, right? Because the people up at the top have to like it. And then once you're a designer, and if you are, let's say, in a company for a little bit, right, to where you can actually figure out what the people on the top like, right, then you start designing towards what they like versus what you think would be a good design, right? You're going, this would be good, but I'm gonna do this. Like, if the main person likes round shapes, right, and they're like, we need a robot, you might be thinking, you know what, some real angular shapes would work with the story and stuff like that. And then you go, but, you know, you're like, but it'll probably be better, or I can get it approved if I use rounder shapes. Of how fun it makes a game, all of which makes see, it's weird. It's weird, but like the lowest rung, like you have to adjust all your stuff, but you're the one making the look, right? Like that's the whole thing. It's like you're the one making the look. So you know what I mean? Like without you, without the concept designer, what do you know, could look like anything. And that's the big thing. That's why everyone really wants it. you know, is because you get to go out amongst your friends and go, you see that character? Like, the person who designed the first Assassin's Creed, right? They get to then go, yeah, I designed that, right? That's what they get to do, and that is a rock star move. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. I develop stuff for myself. Like, I like doing my own stuff and hopefully seeing it out in the wild for that exact reason. You know what I mean? I did that. There was no, I kid you not, there was no greater feeling for me than going into a store that I had nothing to do with and seeing my game on the shelf. You know, like, I didn't come in there and sell it to them. They bought it on their own and it was there for sale. And I'm like, oh, I did that. Like, that's me. I did that all on me. That me. You know what I mean? So save, because that's important. Excuse me.
Go on.
Because there's nothing it's functional or practical in their design. Yeah, and most games are terribly. Yeah, that it goes that way. It's such a collaborative process. Oh yeah. Well, that's good, right? It's a collaborative process. That's really good. But I don't know. Maybe I'm literally just holding on to the fact that I don't technically like to work for people. Like, I work for people, right? Like, I've done jobs with many of people, but when it comes to like big projects, I'm always so weary when like someone has come to me and they're like, hey, I would like you to work on this graphic novel for me. And the first thing I asked was, that's cool. I asked about the budget. You know, what are you gonna be paying? But then it's like, do you have the character designs already done? Do you have the world done? Is the lore done? Is is all this stuff done? Because if not, then I'm going, all right, I'm creating this stuff, and then if you come in afterwards and you're just like, you know what, that's not what I was looking for. I'm like, well, I don't. So I think that this is gonna work. Right? And that's why I've definitely broken off to more, I'm going to do things myself while doing freelance work. Like, I'm going to do these cards, or I'm going to do that illustration. You know, like, I'm going to draw Spider-Man. Spider-Man's already established. I drew Spider-Man. Yay. Good and done. But if it's like, hey, we're going to design, characters in the next Spider-Verse, and we want you to make them, we're like, because then you're like, this design would be awesome. Or you're working for a year or 2 years and you're like, this is gonna be great, and then they scrap the whole project like that. Doing old 3D artists. And he was the very first generation of games. He was saying kids coming into the industry have way too many misconceptions of what they get to brag about after working on a project. Fair. That's fair. And the reason why I think that is because we don't get those people into the schools, right? Like, it's very rare that you get like more than like, hey, here's our speaker for graduation, right? And you're like, here's our speaker for graduation, and that's it. And it might be a visual effects once every 7 years or something like that, which is why one of the reasons why I was like, look, I created a convention or a educational symposium where I brought in multiple people every single year solely for people to ask those kind of questions, right? What is it like? What was your journey right after school? Did you go to school? Should I go to school? These are people in college, and I'm like, every single one of these people is going to have a different story, but you should listen for the similarities, right? For when you're like, what is it like working there? And it's like, well, this is cool and this is horrible. I experienced this and I experienced that, right? So that when they do go into the industry, if they decide to continue down that route, they will be able to go or make that decision. They're making an informative decision where it's like, I heard all the horrible, I still want to be part of this, right? Or, oh, so I'm not going to be able to brag this much, or, oh, I'm not going to get a crown set on my head because of fill in the blank, right? So we're still looking for peeps at SCAD, and we're one of the biggest departments in the school, the biggest schools in the country and stuff. What do you mean you're still looking for peeps? Like, you're still looking for teachers, or are you looking for people to bring in? Because the one thing that I've noticed, or when I was at SCAD, the one thing that was really throwing me was when like the comic arts forum came in. It was always kind of the same people, right? Like you would get someone, oh, for animation professors, well, SCAD's got a lot of baggage. Let's just put it like that. SCAD's got a lot of baggage, and especially if there's educators who have been in the industry and those people talk to each other, you know what I mean? And so, because I had someone who came from SCAD and they're like, I'm so happy that I'm out of SCAD because it was a big dictatorship and I had no creativity. And this was in Foundation, so it might be different everywhere else, but they were in Foundations and like, it was hell. And they went to what I considered literal hell, and they're like, this is so good, I love it here. And I'm like, ugh. So you know what I mean? So weird. It's just weird. That's all there is to it. It's just weird. So all right, so I'm gonna try something. We're gonna take this color off. And take that color off. Maybe we take the color back on. Let's see. I don't know. Put that back on, and then why is it like that? What's this? What's in here? Why is it like that? Animation's a bit better. Foundation's is a mess. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's what I hear. Which is sad, because I'm like, animation. I mean, not animation, it's just like SCAD. Hell yeah, SCAD. And like, yeah, no. Why is that going on? That's why. Oh man, look at how much that pops. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. What is that? Why is that? See, that's not on top of it. What happened? What? That's black, which means it should be solid. Then I put this on. What's going on here? That's on normal. And then the colors go over top of it. There we go. We'll just, whatever. We'll make it work. Alright, so I have to say, I do like the solid black way better. Way better. Way better. I think it's also that no one has accurate expectations of what we need to do to get to where they say they want to go. Yeah, no, I agree. Well, and I mean, it's another reason why I try to bring in so many people, because it's like, you had some people who are like, look, I was in school and I went to one of these forums and then bam, I had a job, right? And then you have the other person who was like, or like me, right? It was like, had a master's degree and I went down to Florida to go work for Disney and all this kind of stuff, and it was bad timing because they just shut down their 2D animation spot, and then this place didn't hire and that place didn't hire, and then I was working for Linens and Things and Toys R Us, and then I left those to go work at Fridays. Right? And you're just like doing odd jobs here and there. Oh, I did this little commission here, I did a little commission there, right? And some people get disheartened by it and they're like, I don't want to do that, right? And you're like, fair, I understand that you don't want to do that. And then there's others who are like, I've been working at the same store for the past 6 years while I was working on my portfolio. And one thing that I have noticed, and I've yelled at a lot of students for this, like I've given people jobs, I'm like, apply here, and I'm like, send them your portfolio. And they're like, well, okay, so I haven't really updated my portfolio since I graduated. And I was like, what? But you don't have a job. What do you mean you haven't updated it yet? And they're like, well, you know, I just haven't. And I'm like, that's why you don't have a job. Because clearly the stuff that you sent out before wasn't good enough, and then you never made any adjustments. Like, so a lot of people don't want to put in the work. Like you said, you know, they just don't want to put in the work. Like, part of the reason I pivoted to animation was recognizing that there was no way in hell I was competing with Enrique or Danny or Chris in concept art and comic art. You know, and that's fair, right? And that's another, oh my goodness, the disillusion that some of these people have. Like, I know where I am when I draw, right? Like, I know that. And then it's like there are others and they're like, oh yeah, I draw just like them. And I was like, but you really don't? It's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, no, you really don't. And they're like, yeah, I do. And you're like, no, you don't. Why? Where'd all my, why is there, what happened down here? Oh my goodness, I lost something. No good. What happened? Okay, so we're here. Okay, that's where we want to be. Right? All the color's still there. Then we did this. Right? And then I just merged it down. Okay, I don't know what happened, but somehow I managed to screw up something anyway. But they're like, oh, but I'm that good. I remember sitting in the office as a department chair for animation, and the student was like, I want to be a concept artist. And I'm like, look, it's really hard to do concept design. You got to be like the top tier. You got to be one of the, you know, almost the best of the best in order to make it happen. You know, you got to be good. And they're like, I think I'm there. I think I'm there. I'm like, you're a sophomore. And I'm like, you might be there. I haven't heard about you, you know, like being really, 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 really good. So I don't think so, but, and I'm like, show me your portfolio. And they show me, and I'm like, you're nowhere close. And they're like, well, I think I am. I'm like, but you're not. You're nowhere close. And they're like, well, I think I am. And then I was like, all right, cool. And I had this book. I had a book that was called Concept Design. That was it. And it was just different concept designers from different video game and animation, just different concept stuff, fantasy to sci-fi, everything, right? And I pulled this book out, and I didn't even open it. I just said, look at this cover. And now I'm like, you looking at this cover? Okay. I want you to look at your work. Okay? Do you think your work is actually as good as this cover? And this kid looked me dead in the eye and said yes. And I'm like, then I can't help you. I mean, there's nothing you can do at that point. You're just like, I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you. I cannot help you if you honestly believe that you are as good as these people. Right? And then they get offended. They're like, what do you mean I'm not good? I'm like, well, you're not. And you try and be nice about it, and they don't like that. I just snorted out loud. It's like, you know, you try and be nice about it, and you're like, hey, you know, no. And then they're like, my work's good. Everyone that I show my work to really likes it. And then me being me, and for all those of you who know me, what comes out of my mouth at that point of being frustrated is normally not that nice. And I'll say something like, well, then you should stop showing it to your mother. You know, and then it's like, you're a jerk, you're so mean. I'm like, I tried to help you. They're like, I tried. But you're delusional. And so, what do you want me to do? It was also my best shot. Burn. Alright, we're an hour in. I'm gonna go ahead and run this. I'm gonna run this Addy Me ad. Give me some faux sense. My mod didn't tell me that I should run it. Faux sense. So for those of you who are not subscribed, you will see me now in a little corner. But needed to run the ad. So you should be able to still see me, right? It all shifts. Memory serves me right. Like every time I see something and it's running an ad, I get shifted over like this little screen and it's like, hey, look, this is what's going on. So, oops. Alright, and this is not working either. Alright, so now we have that. Do we? Wait, what is this? 82. I'm gonna try something. 82. Right? Didn't do anything, stop it. Stop. Hmm? Right, and if we drop that to 82. See, everything drops and you're like, alright, cool, whatever. But I just don't... I think we're gonna have to put the paper on top. That to there, bring you back up to 100, bring you back up to 100. Well, we might have to drop that. Right? Nope, we cannot drop that. We're gonna put that back up. Then we're gonna take this and drop that in. Wait, is this on multiply too? Why is that on multiply? Whoa! Everything became snow. Alright. Darken. You dropped all your non-subs? Nah. I warned them ahead of time. But maybe I did. See, I like that. I wish it was darker, though. I really do. Plus, the ad's over, so everyone should still be there. Ooh. I like the texture burn on that one. But it's weird because it's too light. Maybe we'll be able to change that. That one's still cool. I like that. Becomes all light. Oh, I got exploded. Dirty pool in the back. Skip wins. Skip wins. No, wait. There's. Oh yeah, he wins. Rigged. Ray, what? Yup. Where were we? Did kind of enjoy that. Won that fair and square. You can't prove it because you were behind the castle, and that's why I think you cheated. If there are rules to break. This is very true. Or you're in school. Eh, fair. I kind of like that. As well. This is true. Now, I wonder if we come down here, we do the same thing. Try to make that paper a little darker. Okay. Liking the darkness of it. Like it. I like it. Shouldn't mess with the values a bit. Put it in black and white. Cheat in art. There are no rules, so cheating doesn't exist. Yeah, I can get behind that. Only people's ego. That's kind of what's there. That's it. I don't know. Black and white. It looks pretty solid. But I do think some stuff goes away when you do that. And textures. I have thought about that. I mean, this paper, there's Japanese, was it Japanese rice paper? Something like that. The scrolls and stuff like that. So I pulled the paper, right? But as far as color, like colors and stuff, because everything they do is really it's flat, right? Like it's just a flat color, and so yeah. And character is against the darkest part. The darkest part of the character is against the darkest part of the character. So maybe putting some more contrast between them. Just a thought. You don't have to listen to me. Wait. The darkest part of the character is against the darkest part of the character. What? I'm like, what? Oh, it's against the darkest part of the background. I was just like, what? Okay. That is one. I'm not allowed to teach them stuff that would make their lives easier, because at that point you have, yeah. I mean, okay. I see what you're saying. I see it. Wait, the Winter Olympics are hard happening? Like, really? Oops. Like, no clue. Yeah, I see that. I know there's a way to view. I have to figure out how to do the view thing so that I can change it to black and white without affecting the colors. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can then change some of the black and white and then put it back into color, and it's like, oh yeah, we got you. Alright, so the bad part is that I now have that all merged together. Let's see. Because what do we do? Oh yeah, we just changed that, because up here everything was separate. See, here it looks a little different. I do enjoy this though. I'm almost looking at it going, it needs to be more. Maybe it's this one. If you go to the bottom of the layers, set up a layer mode to hue and saturation, and bring the saturation all the way up to the black and white. Wait, so whoops, no, not that one. Nope, that's a mask. Gosh, it's been so long since I've been playing around down here. Into layer style, link layers. Create a layer, new group. In the bottom of the layers, set up a layer. Oh, set up a layer mode to hue and saturation, all the way up to black and white. Oh, okay. So it would be no. Oh, you can turn the layer on and off. So I'm still okay. So let's see. Go down here, go all the way to the bottom of the layers, and set up a layer mode for hue and saturation. So would it be two different layers? Good night. Layer mode here. Seems like you're just gonna have to show me, because I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I want to try something else. So we were here, do this. No. Was that it? Yeah, we don't want to do that. We might drop it down. Did absolutely nothing. It's like, that did absolutely nothing. Okay, so then we're gonna select similar. Oh, that's why it didn't do anything. Select similar, select the inverse. Then we gotta go. No, we don't want to do that. Nope. We want to come in here and do that. Here. Here. Birds. So now we have that. So now I should go to here. Let's see, it's affecting all. Why do I like that so much? Alright, let's turn, nope, not that off. Turn this off. Here, X, and here. Turn that off. Turn that off. Now it's all like, okay, so select that. And then works. What? Very dang well. Okay. Alright, so we might have to fix a little bit. Because that didn't go as clean as it should have. It's alright. It's alright. So that and this here. Yeah. Still. Like this one was nice and clean. No, it's still not. So then we would select here, right? And then we'll select, modify, expand by 1. Alright. Hopefully that will take care of it. Yep. Excuse. Sorry. Marketing plan, you say? You know, it's a good question, to be honest. Like, I'm about to blow up Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that, but I don't, it's not, for me, it's mostly conventions. Like, I want to go to conventions and do it, and I'm going to post online and see, you know, just like flood the market and be like, here you go, this is the plan. But I don't really have, like, I don't have a plan of doing like ads and stuff like that. Like, I just don't, right? It's just, at this point, I'm gonna put it out there and I'm gonna see how it goes. My main thing of so far, the way that I've done it is to go through conventions, and like that's been my bread and butter. So, if you have, you know, any suggestions, I'm all for it. Get moved. Yeah, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, like that makes a lot of sense, to be honest. But what I've realized, at least for mine, when I'm like, all right, let me try and find the groups, right? Like I can join a Naruto group. You know what I mean? Like, I can do that, but there is like, I don't know. And then to be like, oh well, what the hell is going on? To be like, hey, I'm gonna join, oops, someone else. You know, like if I was like, I'm gonna join in this group where they have ninjas in it and they like it, but you know. And so I've found myself not being able to find a place to where I can be like, you like ninjas? I like ninjas. Let's, you know, let me show you this new ninja project I'm working on. And so I find myself going to look at TikTok or YouTube and going, all right, so I'm going to use these to try and get my project out there, and then we're going to go from there. So right now it's mostly a big hope and a prayer. You know, like we're gonna test something out, and that's the big thing right now. Like I'm definitely gonna be testing the waters. While going to conventions, a lot of people have been like, oh wow, this is really cool, but I didn't have anything. All I had was character designs, right? So I didn't really have anything to show them, you know, like, hey, here's you know, like a couple pages, you know, and then to not only be like, hey, here's a couple pages, but if you look through my portfolio, you can see that I've got the next, you know, 15-20 pages done, so you know that this is coming out, right? And then and that's how you catch them. You're like, hey, why don't you get onto the mailing list, and then I will, you know, when it comes out or when the Kickstarter hits or when there's new news or anything like that, I can let you guys know, right? So I'm really going, like, this year is definitely like the year of where I'm going, hey guys, look, I actually have a product for you to actually taste, right? It's like, it's not just me going, hey look, I got this project, it's gonna be awesome, and they're like, great, where's the book? And I'm like, I got that, right? But this year I will have something, you know what I mean? Everyone's promoting, yeah. Part of live promotion channels on Discord are also coming to us. Everyone knows. You go there to show avoiding like the plague. Yeah. Yeah, you know, and that is a big thing, right? Because you're just like, I don't know, and it still seems to me like nobody really wants to help, you know, where it's like, hey, I see you hustling, right? I see you, and so you're like, all right, well, when you promote, you know, just especially if you can be like, well, when you promote, let me know, and then I'll retweet it and stuff like that, and I'll talk it up, I'll do the comment, I'll do the, you know, it's like I'll do these things, but it seems like it's very few and far between who are willing to help, right? But they want you to help, but they won't reciprocate on the other end, right? And I completely understand if it's like, hey, look, you know, I didn't know, right? Like I'm really bad about Facebook, right? Like when people post on Facebook, because I don't normally go on Facebook unless, you know, I have an agenda. And so I'm not on Facebook a lot. And even though a lot of people that I know, a lot of creatives, that's what they do. They're posting on Facebook. And because they've always done it, or they have a fan base already or something like that, I'm like, that's cool. I want to help out. I will help you, but you have to let me know, right? Because I might not see it. And it's not me going, oh, well, I'm not going to promote you. It's, I had no idea. So it's all about communication, and most people don't want to talk to each other, you know? So until they start doing their own thing. Yeah. Oh, and then they get mad too. You know, they'll get mad at you and like, "Hey, man, you didn't help me out." I'm like, where were you? Where were you when I was trying to do stuff? You know, it's like, especially if you're like, "Look, I needed you to help me with this," and oh, don't let whatever you've done get some type of attention, right? Because then it's like, "Hey, I saw that you did really good on Kickstarter. I'm doing a Kickstarter now. Can you promote my stuff?" And it's like, well, when I asked you to do it, you know, when I was nothing, and I just needed you to, you know, I wasn't asking you for money. I was asking you to just tell someone about it. Tell your friends. That's it. You didn't want to do it. And that's why, you know, it was a couple months ago, I think. But that's when I posted about, you know, it'd be cool to have this, you know, this group of creatives, and we all know what we're there for, right? We're there for the support. If I need some art, you know, criticism or something like that, I can come to this group and be like, "Yo, I'm having problems with this panel or this page or this pose, or, you know, I'm finished with this. What do you guys think?" Stuff like that, right? And you can just get all the support, kind of like when you were in school, right? And you're like, okay, I can get all the support I need from this group. And then if you know, if you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna post on this site, or, you know, this forum or whatever," and you're like, "I just posted this," whatever it is, right? That group, as a group, will go and tweet it, retweet it, you know, as promotion, right? You promote, I promote. And then when my stuff comes in, it's like, "Hey, check this out. Hey, retweet this." And it should be a small group. It should be a group of people who, you know, kind of respect and know each other's work, you know, and they're willing to help. And it's like, "Hey, you're posting? All right, just tell me." And maybe you come in late, you know, because I know the algorithm wants you to do stuff like right away, but maybe you're the one who comes in late afterwards, and you're just like, "Oh crap, I came in late, but I got you," right? And you're like, "I just saw this, I'm gonna retweet it," and all that good stuff. No problem, you know. But you get to come in and you see it. You're like, "Oh, Skipper Wayne, he posted. All right, let me go look for it." All right, right? You're just like, I didn't know, so I'm gonna go look for it right now. And then you go, "Hey, check this out. This is really good. Go check this out." And while so many people are like, "Yeah, that sounds like a great idea," I'm like, I don't believe that most of the people who are like, "Yeah, if you set it up, I'm there," I don't think most people are really looking for an art community to where you have to put in the work, right? Like you would have to put in the work and be supportive to everybody, you know, anyone who's on that group. And like I said, it would be like almost like a studio, but it's a selected studio. You're like, these are the people who I want, you know, selective. And it's like, "Hey, we're together." And then, you know, you form this bond. Maybe you see them at conventions, stuff like that. It'd be awesome. I think. I could be wrong, but I think it would be cool. Keep supporting someone, sending you more of their stuff, right? And curate your support to help your indie friends. This is true. It's true. But, you know, I'm like, when it comes to like Instagram, you know, the people that are there, I'm like, oh, yep, know you. Hey, you did this, all right. You know, and then when I'm on Twitter and I see people and they're posting, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll retweet. I'll put it on there. I'll retweet. It shows up on my timeline because I'll wait to share your stuff. Juices to not support. Super hollow to me. Yeah. Yeah. No, like on Twitter, I think Twitter is like really, which is weird because I am so not like, I didn't think I was gonna like Twitter as much, but as far as really curating what is coming through and how you can support, like, and they have it set up so easy, like, retweet, comment, you know, and you're like, oh hell yeah, you know, because you know, you should know, right, on the alt account, if I'm like, if I get on and I see it, it's getting retweeted, it's getting shared, because I'm like, let's do it, done, let's do it, you know what I mean? I got you on con side. What do you think about doing Katsucon? I'm willing to do a Katsucon. I haven't done Katsucon in forever. When is Katsucon? I mean, I guess I could look it up, but you might know offhand. But, you know, I think that we, as artists, should be able to help each other out a little bit more. And as, you know, as my artist friends are here, correct me if, like, am I just delusional in that aspect? Like, you know what I mean? Like, am I delusional in that aspect that we could help each other? Like, everyone's complaining about the algorithms, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Like, every one of the artist people I know is complaining about, like, the system stopping you from being successful, right? And well, yes, because there is no platform for art, right, that's dedicated to art. But if we have to operate within these platforms, then if we are collectively struggling, why wouldn't we collectively help each other out? You know, because I mean, and I know that there are other artists out there who are not struggling because either they came in with a different you know, like a different platform that they came in, and then they had their own fans and all that stuff, or they currently have a style that really speaks to the current love of whatever, right? Like if you, I think that if you paint you know, almost that, not hyper realistic, but the, you know, the painted realistic style, then you will get way more attention than someone who's doing, you know, what I'm doing or what Skip's doing, right? And that's fine, but then it's like, all right, well, I don't have that. I need your help. Right? He's like, but I need your help. It's like, come on, guys, we should be able to do that. We should be able to do that. We should be able to do that. February 18th and 20th. 18th and 20th. 18th to the 20th. Isn't that President's Day weekend? Oh, I can't do that. I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. That is the wifey's birthday weekend. Because Farpoint is the next week, right? So, yeah, no, I would love to, but like I said, that's you know, I don't need to explain the the importance of the wife birthday to you. Would love to, absolutely. If it wasn't that weekend, I would absolutely love to, but I cannot. because I would love to be able to get into another anime con, because I want to, you know, off of the stuff that I've learned, I want to be able to use that and see if it'll make a difference with the product that I have, because I really do think that a lot of anime people, the people who really do like anime, especially when I saw it, right, they would really enjoy this product. They would really enjoy it. And that's, I mean, honestly, I'm going to go and jump into a lot of anime forums and stuff and just be like, all right, let's do it, right? And I might start tagging, like, every time I do Ninja Empire stuff, it's going to be like, hey, here's, you know, I do the hashtag with like Naruto and, you know, just One Piece and all these things that I'm like, these are all related. You should, you know, come check me out. But we buy into the system. What's weird to me is my network knowing, you know, who posts on the regular, and yet it can't be what. See, and that's, you know, like I said, if I'm not helping you enough, Skip, it's because I don't see it. So if you tag me, right, maybe just on Discord, or if you're not gonna be like, hey, you know, I'm gonna tag you on Facebook or something like that, but if you let me know, because I know you post regularly, but like I said, if you don't tell me to, hey, go check out Facebook because I posted something, I don't do a lot of Facebook, right, and stuff like that. Twitter, when I go on, I generally look for your stuff and then I just repost it. It might be, you know, days late, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna come through and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna post the hell out of this stuff. So, but I'm just saying, you know, if you need it, I'm there. I reach out to the PLC and Otakon to see if Nightwing will strike again. Oh man, I hope so. If it does, I'm would love to do Otakon again, because that's where I got my knowledge from, you know. It's just like, oh, so this is what, okay. And people there were super, I'm not even gonna lie, the people there, like the artists there, were so freaking willing to help. It was really refreshing when I went to people's tables and I was just like, oh man, how do you do this and how do you do that? And they're like, oh, it's, you know, do this and you can do this and then there's that. And they were like, everyone was helpful, everyone was open with their information, and, you know, nobody was hoarding anything, you know. It was really nice to have that, you know, to be like, holy crap, these people, like, these are my people and they're willing to help, right? The one con that I know I have to get into eventually is the Savannah Con, because I gotta try that out. Plus, to get back into Savannah, right? Come and visit all the scaddies, you know, be like, what's up, people? You remember me? But they're probably like, oh man, no, don't let him in. Oh, and of course, if we got to go out to the Oregon, wherever the heck we went for you know, Rose City, let me know. Let me know. Yeah, I'm interested in SavannahCon, and it's done by someone I know, so it's like, pretty sure if I ask really, really nice, I might be able to work something out. So Makes a lack of support for Skip even more for the I can see that. I can definitely see that. I finally figured out what I was gonna do for mine. Like, I know that I'm like, oh, I think I figured it out. Oh, I think I figured it out. But I don't know if you've noticed, but I started actually doing panels, right? And I'm like, okay, but how am I gonna make this work? How am I gonna make this work? And I finally figured it out. I do believe that so I'm doing it by the year, right? And so the idea is that every year is another RPG. You know, like it's another adventure that they go on. Right? So I can focus on one adventure instead of trying to be like, oh my goodness, how am I gonna keep this interesting by doing a bunch of different things? It's like, nope, it's just like telling a full D&D story, which I think would be fun. Oh, and I wanted to ask, am I allowed to put like your OC mostly in the backgrounds and stuff, so just so that they're there, and you know, we can talk about having them interact with some of our people. But I was just wondering about, you know, because in the players lounge, you know, to have some recognizable people would probably be cool. Have to prove yourself to the peer team. Ooh, yeah. I mean, I can't speak for Skip, but I mean, I do know that every time you go somewhere new, right? They don't care where you've worked, and like, whatever. I don't care. You do have to come in and be like, all right, here, I got to prove myself once again to be worth it. It's kind of annoying. Like I said, can't speak for Skip though. I've never worked anywhere where people don't just automatically trust their knowledge. Really? Man! I mean, you know, you came when it was like, hey, when I hired you, right? And it was like, well, I know you know what you're doing because we taught you. You know? And then it's also like, well, I also know that the place where you went to taught you, so we should be good, right? So I'm like, nothing there. But man, I can tell you that every single play, like, now granted, when I first started, yeah, clearly had to prove myself, right? But the next place, I got hired for certain things, you know, and I'm like, all right, I got hired to do NASAD. Like that was the thing I was supposed to do, right? Come in, do NASAD. That was it. Like that was my job, or at least that's what I was told my job was gonna be. And then when I got there, and I'm like, all right, well, we need to do this, and this. It was, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, but that's literally what got me the job, was that I know what I'm talking about. And they did everything in their power to not do what I had to say. And I'm there constantly going, well, this is gonna work this way. It's gonna work. And they're like, no, it's not. I even had I had a ceramicist tell me how to teach graphic design. And I'm like, you don't do this. What are you why are you here? Like, why are you telling me what to do? Right? And it was like, what? I don't come down there and tell you how to make your pots. Right? And it was like, sure. Now, I can't say about this new place, right? Like, nobody's out, right? Because we haven't seen anybody, so I can't really be like, oh yeah, these people are also trying to make, they're out to prove that I can or cannot do something. Like, I don't know, right? Because I haven't really dealt with anybody. Although when I did go in to see the facilities, I did get introduced to some people. I was getting checked out. Like, I was getting the stink eye. And I'm like, why are you giving me a stink eye? Like, you don't know me. Like, I haven't done anything yet. At least let me do something. Let me do something, Tillman, before you judge me, right? Like, let me give you a reason to not like me. Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna rub somebody the wrong way. Especially now. What's funny is now coming in as the older guy, right? Like, I'm no longer the young guy. I'm still pretty young in the group of people that are there. But, it's not, I'm coming in and I'm 24 and I'm teaching college, right? People looking at me like I don't know what I'm doing. Fair, whatever, right? I'm barely older than any of the students, sure, right? But now I'm older, and it's like, why are you up here hating on me? Like, what the hell? It has one of those faces that says, trust me. Maybe. I mean, and I know that I can come in, I'll come in and say stuff to people like, that's stupid. And that just happened to be their baby for the past 6 years. And I'm like, that's dumb. Because I don't know. Like, I didn't know it was their baby. And everyone was talking about it. And then I was just like, that sounds stupid. Here's why this is stupid. And then they're like, well, I was doing that for blah, blah, blah. And this is why it's good. And I'm like, still stupid. And then you find out that they're the one that, developed that or did whatever. And you're like, oh, crap. You're like, oh, man. Now they're mad. Ugh. And you're like, all right, well, sorry. And then they don't forgive you anymore after that. And they're just like, screw you, man. All right, well. You're like, all right, well. For shame, I guess. Last quarter was. Skip's really nice. And I like being in his classroom. Okay. The baby's in my class. I'm the person who comes in and is like, oh, you've been working on that since high school? Oh, you should, or when we're right out of college, it makes sense. Like, right out of high school. But then there's others. Like, I love going to San Diego, standing up there asking people about their projects and stuff like that, and then they're like, hey, guess what? You're like, yeah, what's up? I've been working on this since high school. I'm like, how old are you? I'm 52. I'm like, you need to throw that away. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're never gonna finish that project. And then I asked them, like, hey, just curious, are you constantly fixing it? Or you're just constantly fixing it, right? Like, oh, this will be interesting. Ooh, you watched a movie, you're like, oh, that'll be cool, and you want to add that in, and then now you're redoing everything to make this one little part fit. You know, you're like, this is gonna work this way. It's like, oh, this is gonna be great, and you're constantly doing that. And they're like, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, because you said you were working on this since high school, so you're like 15, 16, and now you're 52, and you're never gonna get it done. You know, like, never gonna get it done. So why waste your time? And so I would always yell at people, I'm like, just get something out there. Like my young students, I'm like, put something out there. Let it suck. And then get better. But at least this way you have something out there. Versus, I've got this great idea, and yet it's got to be perfect, or I want to change this, or I like to, like, write the book, do the book, then add it. Like, bring it in, introduce it later. Don't hold off and never turn anything in. Like, you know, it's just crazy. Or just asking innocent questions that get them. Well, no, the innocent question that they just didn't think about because they're so into it, and you're like, how does that work? Like, how do you do this? Like, it's a key point to their story, and then you just go, how does it go from here to here? And they're like, and you're like, really? Like, you didn't think about that? That was my first question. Like, that was my first question, man. And like, yeah. Like, oh, dude, it's gonna be a problem, isn't it? I don't know, kind of like that. You know, kind of like this. Kind of like it. I like this overlay, right? Where it kind of just like everything is nice and crisp and clean, which is gonna be awesome for like the character designs are all crisp and clean and, you know, like animation ready. I mean, no, not. I'm pretty sure most people don't want to animate any of my stuff because it's got too much crap on it. I mean, the people over in Japan will gladly do it because they're insane and they do this kind of stuff anyway. But I'm going, nah, people aren't going to want to animate my stuff. I get that. But it looks like it can be animated. And then with this, because the texture's on the overlay, it's just really dirty, right? Yep, exactly. Make a strip, do it. Love it. And then, you know, and then keep going. Keep going. Oh. Is it worth it? Stop closing your eyes so much. What do you mean? I close my eyes a lot? Like blinking? Or am I literally going like... I'm curious. Now I'm curious. I didn't know it was closed my eyes. You blink? Oh, I blink a lot. I blink for seconds. I'm like, watch one of your videos. Okay. I know I blink and I look off. When I'm thinking, I'll be like... dropping it down just a little bit. Okay, I will. I'll rewatch it and pay attention to that. I think 80, 90, 85. I think it's a nice in between. I think that's where we're at right now. What do you guys think? Hey Chris, what's going on? It has indeed. I mean, I've got officially 27 characters developed with stories, and now the comic pages are happening. Oh really? Well, I will look. I will look to see how my blinking's going. Thank you. Thanks. I mean, it's like, thanks for letting me know. Anything to try and make it better. Oh, even that pops better. Yeah, I like this. I like the way it looks. How do you guys? What do you guys think? Oh, the music stopped. How much longer we got? 18 minutes. Where do we want to go? I'm like, I think I'm like, okay. I do like it. I like this. I like the way it looks. Now let's see if I can drop this now, or I wonder if putting that color overlay on it. No. No. Color overlay will not work. The vintage look of the character. I like it. I'm like, I like it. And like you said, it does give it some character. And I think I'm gonna drop this down a little bit. Alright, so now that's not 100%. I mean, I can come in then here, the eraser. This. Okay, so come in and tighten that up. Okay, here. All right, so that means that we come here first. Actually, we can just use the marquee tool, which will be a lot easier. Delete that. Wait, there we go. Why did it not delete? Oh, it's not just that. Okay. What is going on? Why won't it delete? Looks like it was dipped in coffee. Yes. Great. I like that. I like that aspect. Why is it not? Why won't you let me delete it? It's like, it will not let me delete. Okay. What are we? All right, let's see. Oh, is that because it's not? Okay, it's not that. Okay, good. But there are, okay. Now I see there was a texture. Now we're going to just clean up. Okay. Come here. Probably shouldn't just went catch everything all at once, like so. Okay. There are no lines there. Caught that. Wait, where'd it go? I don't know what happened. That was weird. Okay, anyway, let's try that again. Wait, why is it doing that? Save. Okay, hold on. Being difficult. Okay, save. Saved out now. We gonna get one more battle royale? There's no battle royale. Come on now, we gotta win something. Not get beat up behind the castle. Out. Oh no, I'm getting beat up. No! No! Chase him down! No! No! I've been exploded. Oh, is Skip about to take it for a number 2 time? Oh, we can't have that. What is that? What is that? Rigged. 2 in a row. Look at him go. Double win. Save. Mad ninja skills, that's what I got. now I need to find... Wait, is it here? I don't think so. No. Okay, so that... here? No. No. That doesn't show up for weeks and comes. I know. It's like, ha ha ha. That's right. I win. It's like, oh, dang. Okay. It's like, I don't care. I'm the best. I'm the best. Here. To be under nothing really. It needs to be there. It's not going over that. It's that. Okay. Where in the world is it? Exists nowhere. There it is. Yep. Well, these are going to be my caption boxes. But clearly we need to clean some of them up because it's not completely straight. But yep, this is going to be my caption boxes. That's how it was. Mysterious words. Yeah, good. I'm like, good. Kind of what I'm going for. So how are things going, Chris? What you been up to? All right, and from there we take this. Just make sure that this is nice and clean. Like so. Same with this one. Oops. So we have this now, right? And what I'm gonna do, in order to make sure that these are nice and crisp and clean, I'm gonna bring them over to Illustrator, make Illustrator copy it, right? Then they'll copy it and make them all nice, crisp and clean, and then I'll bring them back over here. But there you go, there's the caption box, right? Oh, thanks. Also, it ties it in to my own logo. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and save that because those are placeholders. And then I have to go into Illustrator to make sure that, like I said, they're all nice, crisp and clean. And then we're like, alright, cool, done. There you go. Because I know it's almost time, so I'm not even going to try and start anything new. I'm like, there you go. Here we are, right here, right now. Bam! Right? And the thing is that I still need to play with it, right? Because I know, like, looking at it here, it really works, but I might need to make that brighter so that we can see it and stuff like that. Still playing with it, but, you know, that's pretty much done because the dialogue's pretty easy, so probably do that. Hopefully, maybe. And it's like, hopefully, maybe we'll do that tomorrow before stream happens, and then we can do something else. Like I can either start drawing the second page, or something else. We'll see. We'll see. But like I like this feel. I like the overlay. Once we get the caption box done, we'll probably need to make it just a little bit thicker, but He-Man Revelations and Eternals tomorrow. Okay, I'm cool with that. But yeah, I do like the old look. I like the vintage look. I like how with the texture on top of it, it looks like it's part of the paper. You know, we even toned down the binding boxes so that they look like they're part of it too. So I'm happy. I really like the way this looks. So thank you so very much for hanging out with me. People over on YouTube and all you guys on Twitch, thank you. It was a very lively conversation today. Thank you so very much. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. And as always, born a ninja, die a ninja. So if you're a subscriber, you know you gotta put it in there. Because we are born a ninja, die a ninja. Chat. Alright, so we're just gonna say goodnight. Have a good night. Hope to see you tomorrow. We'll raid somebody tomorrow, but in the meantime, we'll listen to our mantra, and we're gonna move forward with Ninja Empire. It's okay that you weren't born a ninja. You can still live by the mantra. All right, I'll see you guys later.
The Ninja Empire is supreme, dominant, and unstoppable. Our ninja spirit is fueled by fire and driven by razor-sharp determination. When we take on a mission, we must succeed or die. Our style is unique and deadly, and no one wants to suffer the wrath of the Ninja Empire.